Welcome to the Sales Factory. I'm your host, Coach Carroll, and this is episode 1 of season 4 of the Sales Factory podcast. I hope you're doing well wherever you're listening to this. We got people all over, man, and I know that it's been so long, so long since we have talked. We went through a pandemic. We have so much to catch up on. I'm super excited recording this. Hopefully you recognize it. Sounds a little different. I'm at my buddy Mike Chrysler. You guys have followed me for a while. You know he was my very first mentor. Taught me all about the power washing business and really got me started in business straight out of high school. And he is now the executive director of the Create Space here in Lexington, Kentucky. And so graciously has allowed me to use their podcasting studio. And so I'm recording from a Rode Podcaster Pro and a badass headset. I've missed you guys. I am so excited to be doing this, to be putting out the 4th season of the Sales Factory. I really think you're going to enjoy everything that we've been able to put together for you. I have some awesome guests lined up. Just some absolute rock stars. And if we could, let's just give them a quick round of applause. Oh, I'm playing with all the toys today, so I'm super excited. This is the intro to season 4, and I just want to give you guys a quick little rundown. The format has changed a bit. I'm going to be running through the entire season with you, dropping in nuggets along the way. Some of these episodes will be with me, but I've invited some friends, some clients, some badass hustlers that I've met along the way to join me. In episode 2, I'm going to be covering the State of the Union. Just talk about how crazy, man, the world has been over the past 2 years since I've put out any episodes. The last episode I had was with a multi-million-dollar plumbing operator. You guys have probably checked that out. If you haven't, go listen to that episode and then come right back here. But episode number 2 is going to be State of the Union. I'm just going to be breaking down things that I see in the world, what I think are happening, and then tying in some of the videos and things like that I've put out there. Episode 3, I've got my friend Eric Trice coming on. I call him my friend, but really he's a client. Eric came to me early on when he was a auto mechanic and he wanted to start a business. And so he was asking me, he's like, Coach, I don't know how to sell. Can you help me? I was like, bro, you already know I got you. So we have a great episode lined up for episode number 3 with Eric Trice. This kid was doing, I call him a kid, he's a grown-ass man now, but he was doing a couple $100,000 when he started working with me. Now I think they're going to do $2 million in revenue this year. So super excited. We'll come back after that into episode 4. I'll have a quick little mini chat with you. We'll talk about some things I've got lined out and I want to share with you guys. Episode number 5 is my second guest, and that's Richard Blank, and he runs this place called Costa Rica Call Center. And honestly, guys, I really thought, I even mentioned this in the episode, I thought this guy was going to get on the podcast and just not be great, right? I thought it was some third world call center that wanted to come in and, milk my audience and try to pitch some products. I got to tell you, this guy was probably one of the best guests I've ever had on a podcast. I've never heard anyone speak more clearly, more fluently, more effectively. So, being honest with you, I was taking fucking notes. It was crazy, man. So that's in episode 5. After that, we've got episode 6, which is Mark Corella. He's a State Farm agent. He's actually a client of mine. I reached out to him. We were kind of talking. I'd seen him making some posts about working remotely. His office had went 100% remote, and I was like, hey, man, would you like to come on the podcast and talk a little bit about it? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So a lot of good stuff in there because, we're coming out of this post-COVID world and the great resignation and all the stuff that had happened. And, I'm super excited because he's really just open. I was impressed with how just easygoing he was, how laid back he was. We've since went on to do business together now. We run his Facebook and Instagram ads for his State Farm office, and so super excited to have Mark on for episode number 6. Episode number 7, we're calling them open mic episodes. So like I'll just hop back in with you and, we'll chat it up and talk about some things. I've got some stuff planned out for you guys. And then episode number 8, I was really super excited about this. I couldn't believe Nicole actually came on, but Nicole Cockerham is a top Rocket Mortgage State Farm agent. So State Farm obviously partnered up with Rocket Mortgage. You guys probably saw their ads. And essentially, she was the number 1 Rocket Mortgage State Farm agent last year. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, I'm recording this in September 20th of 2022, so 9/20/22. You have to realize, like, the market has rolled over. Like, nobody's doing mortgages like they were doing last year, but nonetheless, Nicole really gave some really good feedback, and also, she's a cancer survivor, so that was a super cool story just to talk with her. Didn't find out until afterwards, but she was actually going through like cancer treatments and things like that when we recorded the podcast. So I didn't find out until later, and you literally would not even have known. The lady's a rock star. So shout out, Nicole, if you're listening. Super excited to have you for episode number 8. Episode number 9, we'll come back with another open mic episode. And then episode number 10. So it's 11-episode season. Episode number 10 is with my man, Ethan Adams. This dude is a rock star. We actually just bought an additional rental property with him back in July of this year. I think it was like number 73, number 74, whatever unit I'm at now. I don't really manage a lot of it. It's passive investing for me, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about real estate in episode 9 before we hop in with Ethan in episode 10. But I just think the dude had so much energy. I thought it was a great guy to wrap up the guest podcast with for the season. And then we'll come back for episode number 11, which will be the season outro and the wrap up. So guys, I'm super excited. I know most podcasts, they're like, oh yes, well, here's our new podcast, and when they have an interview and they drop it and that's it. I really wanted to structure this thing in a way that you could binge listen to it, because if this all works out right, if everything goes smoothly and according to plan, Andy, my producer, I think everything's going to work out, and the team is going to crush this, and we should be able to smack these seasons, a few of these a year. So I'm pretty excited. Again, I know that it's been a while. I'm glad that you're here and listening. If you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to pour into you. Obviously, it's my mission in life. If you're new to Coach Carroll, if you're new, this is the first time you're ever hearing of me, I'm high energy, man. If you can't tell that already, you should figure it out. Go get a Blue's Clues. I am super motivated, and I'm super passionate about my mission to weaponize. That's right, baby. We were weaponizing you here in the Sales Factory. We're going to weaponize the next generation of business owners and their teams. So with that being said, I'm pumped. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's just rip right into episode 2 of the State of the Union. Get your pen and paper ready. Listen, if you're on a lawnmower, if you're on a roof, if you're in your office, if you're in a crawl space, I got my contractors listening. I got my professional white-collar people listening. I got students listening. Shout out to my people in India. India was the most downloaded country, second to the U.S. Shout out. I see you in India. Let's get this thing started. I'm pumped. I hope you're pumped. Season 4 of the Sales Factory, baby. It's here. Let's get it started. Yeah, buddy. I'm Coach Carroll. We'll see you in the next episode, 402 State of the Union. Let's get it!